Hello, my name is Samantha, and tonight my mom and I are watching Season 4, Episode 11 of Roswell, New Mexico. I will have our playlists for Seasons 2, 3, and 4 linked in the description if you'd like to see more. We start each of our reaction videos with a discussion portion. We ask questions, go over theories. Today, that includes, I think I have figured out what the doesn't mean open or doesn't mean death symbol means. So if you want to hear my theory, keep listening. Otherwise, you can skip ahead. The reaction starts at this timestamp here. Okay. Number 1. Is what Nora built in 47 the console? Because I had been assuming basically this whole time that Michael's console was the console from the ship that they crashed in, that he had recovered some pieces from. But what if the console that he has is what Nora was working on in 47? However,
and then she dismantled?
Well, that's sort of okay. Because if the console is what Nora built, then it must also be part of what happened that as maybe their contingency plan. Maybe they said to Roy Bronson, if something goes wrong, you have to then break it up. Like they gave him the crystals. They said, put these in separate places. They're like, somehow, I don't know how he would have done this, break the alien glass console. Because you can't just take a hammer to that. But setting that aside, break it up, put it into boxes, keep those boxes in separate places. Which could have happened. Except the problem with that is that not all of the pieces were in boxes. Because the pieces that Michael found were not in a box. So maybe it's not what she built. I would like her, whatever she was working on, I would like Michael to be able to see it and use it. Now, whether it's the console and he already has, or it's something new that he can use, that is a nice connection that he would appreciate, that I think would be really cool. Number 2. So last episode, we had talked about, so I was concerned on Max's motivation behind why he wants to get his powers back. And I kind of jumped into assuming that he would do that by inhaling the mist that Liz made. But in the scene where Max and Rosa go to talk to Isabel about the intervention for Liz, Max says to Isabel, I want you to help me get my powers back. I don't know what he expects Isabel to do about that, though. But he doesn't say, I'm going to take the mist so that I can get my powers back. He says, I want you to help me get my powers back, to Isabel. So maybe it's not happening the way that I assumed? Okay, point number 3. So Clyde was, and the other triad, but Clyde specifically, has been looking for the Bible and the glasses because they know that Theo hid something somewhere that would be their way to get home. And Clyde thinks that having the Bible and the glasses will show him where that hiding place is. Except Teska has known about the quicksand since she watched Alex fall into the hole in episode 2. So did she not realize where she was? Or has she known the whole time and has not told Clyde? Which maybe, it's not like they're close. But, but if she did know, which we kind of talked about, if she knows what Alex fell into, it seems like a good hiding place for a way to get home. Why continue to search for the Bible if it's going to show you a place that you already know about? But then again, there's a lot about what Clyde is doing that we don't understand.
That's correct. I can't say anything about that because Clyde's actions do not piece it together.
No. He has confused things a lot. And I'm thinking that in this episode that will hopefully be sorted out. Next point. Okay. Now, if the pocket dimension is not just a different dimension of the same location, but it's also in 1947. If that is the case, one, we had talked about maybe that Michael will find Alex, like maybe Alex went home, and how sweet it would be if like Michael is like, okay, I think Alex would go home, let's search there. What if Alex's home was not built in 1947? However, because it doesn't seem like an old house. However, maybe it is, or it was, because if that explains how he was, like, you can't move a poster off a wall if the wall doesn't exist in 1947. So I was like, oh, maybe it won't be there, but then maybe it is. But point number 2, which is the more concerning point, which, like, if they choose to ignore this, fine, because then it works out. If they are looking in 1947 for more fruit, the fruit tree was planted in 1947. So it's not going to have fruit. I don't know how you work around that other than we're not in 1947 anymore, but like, why?
And how do then they get back?
Well, they can use the fruit for the console on their side, because remember the console filled out on both sides of the portal. Mm-hmm. So if they can, like, do they juice the fruit? However they transfer it into fuel, they can juice up their console, which will open the portal. But if there's only one fruit tree, and it was planted in 1947, and you are in 1947... Yeah, so much for that plan. Okay, so the last point, it's a 2-parter. It includes my guess of what the open or death symbol means. So, first of all, Tesca is showing Isabel a memory of her and Theo on the home planet, when Theo is talking about his idea for a portal and a way to lock it so that Jones can't use it. And then Isabel assumes, oh, that must be what Jones wanted Liz for, to unlock the portal. But that is sort of Isabel's assumption of what Jones wanted. Maybe she's wrong. Because, and I went back and forth on this, because if Jones knows that he needs Liz to unlock the portal, he knows that the portal has a lock. And how would he know that? Because Theo obviously would not tell him that. But then I remembered Tesca knew about it because she heard Theo say it. And if Tesca knew about it, she would have told Jones. So that explains how Jones knows. But on Earth in 47, when Jones forces Theo to create this portal, he knows that Theo has an idea for a lock, but is just going to assume then that he can, like, get around that at some other point. And if Isabel is now assuming that that is what he's going to use Liz for, Liz Orteco did not exist in 1947. So how in 1947, if Jones was able to access this portal that Theo has just made, how is he intending to get around the lock at that point? And, like, what Clyde wants may also be different than what Jones intended. Yeah. So, because Jones is also not here.
More pieces, we'll get more answers to the questions this and next episode.
That brings us, though, to what I think the open or death symbol means. I think the symbol is the lock or the test. Meaning, if you want to use the portal and you are a good guy, which congratulations, Michael, it means open. The portal is open to you, you can go through. But if Jones had tried to use it, they would probably kill him, because then it means death. It is locked to you, you cannot go through it. I think it means open or death. So that is all the points of discussion for tonight. I am very excited about this episode. I can't believe we are on episode 11, including this one. These are the final 3 episodes. I am both nervous and excited for Alex. I have been so nervous the past few days, but I feel like I have reason maybe also to hope that maybe it works out okay. I know. I think it's going to work out. I'm 98% sure that everything's going to end up being fine. Let's just watch it. Okay, let's just watch it.
Welcome to my family.
This is so cultish.
We open in 30.
Look who's not been kidnapped.
Melissa, don't touch my stuff.
Well, make time, Liz. I mean, the alien mist is taking over your life. You moved out of Max's house. You took my blood to save Michigan J. Frog.
She clearly has not turned over a new leaf. Speaking of the intervention, you know what would absolutely break my heart? If they included Arturo, but he doesn't know about alien stuff. Because then this is like a second daughter dealing with an addiction and just, oh my goodness, but it's alien related. So I don't think they would involve him, but okay, here we go. Come on.
God, what is this? Some sort of intervention?
Yeah.
She's being melodramatic.
She's not the only one worried about you.
I am charting the nucleotides in your triple helix to see if I can fight fire with actual fire.
Well, by replicating the blue flame in the lab.
Yes.
Oh.
What? I can't walk away. Then walk towards us. Liz, let's go right now, okay? Let's go back and back.
So far, so good, but I don't think we're out of the woods yet.
You can go apple picking all you want, but my priority is Alex. So I'm gonna search every damn level of this inferno until I find him.
And how do they find each other?
He's just gonna drive around.
Scream?
Scream, Alex! Alex Mates!
No, I mean, then how do the two of them find each other after...
Do cell phones work in pocket dimensions? I don't know. In 1947 pocket dimensions?
With them?
I would say, well, Michael's was crushed a few episodes ago. I don't know if he's gotten a new one. I would be okay if he suddenly has one, but...
Can I have a few minutes? Clear my head?
Come on. Rosa?
What's in the closet, Liz? It's one of my old hidey holes, Ovio. That's not what this is about. Seriously, Liz? I'm not ready.
She even lied, saying there was no more mist. When Max asked for mist to get his powers back, she said there is no more mist. I'm glad Rosa didn't just go along, because she knows.
She knows.
She knows. So, Rosa gets to be the big sister now. I mean, technically she always was, but...
I think we're making progress. Awesome.
She's a very good teacher.
Thank you.
Oh my god!
I've been doing some thinking, and...
Me too.
Okay,
Yeah, let's go. You go first.
Okay.
let's be honest.
So can we just go back to being drinking / occasional surgery buddies?
No. Isabel Evans, you have grown too much to just let him just...
Yes, absolutely. That's funny. That was exactly what I was going to say.
Okay.
I want them to get past this. Because that is not what she wanted to say. That's not what he wants to say. Oh my god. How many times in all the years I've watched movies and television have I seen this exact thing happen? I don't need it again. And they're so cute together. And the thing is that they are both mature adults who otherwise are capable of expressing themselves quite well. They have both grown tremendously, and I just want to see that. I'm sure that we will, but I'm just frustrated currently.
Liz? Hey, what happened?
She attacked Rosa?
Where's Liz? Feelings were confessed, but apparently Isabel and I were better as friends.
Mr. Kyle Valenti, do not fool yourself.
That's odd. His
What?
hands show no sign of a concussion.
That doesn't make sense. If there's nothing wrong with my brain, why can't I remember what happened?
What could Liz have done, though? Back to the pods, it seems. is there any way Shivani is involved with this? But does that mean that Shivani also broke into the upstairs of the Crashdown and then snuck out with Liz and then overpowered Liz to tie her up? Like, or it's Clyde.
Finally, she awakens.
So not the
Where's my
podcast.
sister?
Okay.
What is this place?
This mine shaft is under farmland that was owned by Mr. Jones himself in 1947. This flower grew from his remains.
Okay.
Alex!
See, they're walking around screaming his name. But at least they're at like a place now. So I honestly, how is their home not the first place they check? But okay.
I thought for sure he would be in here. But look,
Michael's gonna be the one to find him though, right?
Alright, come on, let's keep searching before whatever that is rolls in.
wait.
Should a pocket dimension have weather? That seems concerning,
Well,
right?
it's like
Man, my dad left another message.
At the drive-in? A trap!
What was that?
It's also possible that Alex has trapped them, because if he has not seen another person and he hears someone coming, he might presume that he was in danger.
No, it's not working.
Like these old shipping containers are coated in lead. It means electromagnetic waves can't pass through them.
Which Alex would probably know. So maybe it's Alex.
In his transmission from the Lockhart machine, my savior said, "Your brilliant mind could fix it."
That reminds me. Why would Jones tell them to gather the fruit and the star map and the Bible and Liz, bring them to the portal, but if you don't have the console, which seems to power the portal, and maybe that's wrong, but it seems to, what do they expect to do without a console? I mean, does Jones not know how the portal works, so he didn't think of that? Figuring out where the console pieces are was not on the list.
and what does the book have to do with it? The Bible have to do with it? And what is
The Bible shows you how to enter the pocket dimension, which you don't even need to do because that portal thing also exists in the regular world. So again, it's confusing.
This mark bonds select members of the Fiacus. It makes us a family. But anyone who bears it will never be able to use Theo's portal to return home to Oasis.
Just to go home? Because Michael has just a tattoo. He doesn't have like a burned on version of it. But Michael could use the portal to just go still on Earth. So maybe Clyde was lied to, or maybe Michael wouldn't be able to return home, or he could because it's not a burned on version.
This brand is infused with Oasian glass. It created a bond that allowed me to draw energy from my savior.
And then you walk through the liminal space into a portal back to Oasis?
No, the liminal space was a trick Theo created to deceive my savior. The only portal I need is right here in Roswell. I plug in the star map, set a course for Oasis, and I walk away from this miserable rock for good.
What? The star map, which by the way you burned.
Yeah.
Which
and
again,
we just
I was like,
saw it sitting there.
but that was in the pile of burned objects, correct? Or like we saw him gather it. And even like I said, I don't know even with lighter fluid that a fire would be hot enough to
Right.
melt crystal and stone. But
The only answers you need lie in the Trader's Bible. I took the liberty of translating the Oasian symbols for you.
Why would I ever help you?
which he also burned? Did I see that wrong? Or is this some weird thing? It could be a weird thing. If the portal that we know about, or at least part of it, was a ruse, why would then Theo create a second means for Jones to possibly use if he could get rid of the branch thing to go home.
Do we trust Clyde?
Well, Clyde thinks he's telling the truth.
Well, yes,
I believe that.
He believes what he's saying.
He might be incorrect. Of all the people Clyde could have used to threaten Liz, he chooses a student that she kind of knows. I mean, obviously Liz doesn't want to cause harm to that girl, but why not take Rosa? Are Max and Shivani gonna have a confrontation? Is he looking for Mist? Is there no one else there? Have they left? They moved the pods. I mean, maybe it's possible Liz didn't know about this because, well, Shivani was blindfolded, but she was taken to where the pods were. Do you know how angry I would be if I was Max Evans right now?
Excuse you. That wasn't finished.
Did Liz give you those?
Insisted against it, actually. I made an executive decision. I have the best security that money can buy.
He just walked in.
And I'm gonna call them now, actually, to find out why the sheriff got in here without a warrant.
I think you'll find out your chief of security is taking a temporary leave of absence.
Isabel Evans, chief of security.
I think it's...
How did she manage that? Oh, she has mind... Okay. Mind control-esque. Okay.
Something you and I had a chat.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, Max is mad. Max is... This is a justified anger. I'm glad Liz was against it. I don't know if she knew that Shivani then went ahead and did it anyway, or if she didn't know, but either way, she knew that this was a possibility, kept her mouth shut about that.
One canister. That is all I'm asking.
Here, I thought you wanted to flush your girlfriend's pills down the toilet, but you want the mist for yourself.
You know why. Or Shivani could think that, hey, if Max... Well, I don't know if she knows what Max's powers are, but if she knows that Rosa is somehow back from the dead, I don't understand why she wouldn't be excited to give Max the mist so that he could, or she could force him to heal her daughter or resurrect her
let's see
daughter.
What she's got to say.
Give me the mist.
Isabel, what happened here? Is she controlling
My sister
them?
may be able to restrain one guard, but can she take on all four?
I think she could.
The Pod Squad's your family now. And they will welcome you like a long-lost sibling when we get out of here.
Does that open the door? Like, have they worked through what they needed to work through? Like how a mindscape works? You get out. The flip is this? Is this Alex? Like, what the hell is this? Michael! Oh my god, is this Alex? Oh my god, just rip the mask off, man!
At least kiss me before you bust my lip.
Why was he dressed like that? What is he doing? What? Does he? Okay. Hi! Surprise. Okay. All right. Is it really Alex? Because that was weird, right? Like, okay, Alex is a soldier. He wants to be able to protect himself. He arrives in this new place, recognizes it, but doesn't really know what it was. Eventually figures out he can manipulate things to contact his friends. But now then, like, he knows Dallas. I don't know if he ever met Bonnie, so he probably doesn't know who she is. And now there's two people walking around, and so, like, oh, maybe he didn't see them. He traps them in the container. But then waits for a few hours, and then, like, why is he wearing a gas mask? I have imagined various scenarios of what Michael finding Alex would look like. That was not one of them. But he's back. He's back. And, like, if he's looking for things to protect himself, and this is a 1947 version of the world, he found a rifle and a gas mask. Like, okay. But For the 10 seconds between Michael arrives at the drive-in, sees someone in a large coat and a gas mask holding a rifle, and just chooses to, like, tackle them, not knowing, like, he couldn't have figured that was Alex. Who did he think that was?
I can't believe that it's actually you. I'm just so happy you found me. I knew you had to be here somewhere. I'm here. You're here.
Where is here? Exactly.
My dad created this space as a kind of interdimensional mousetrap for Jones and his merry band of followers. Speaking of traps, apparently he wasn't the only one.
I just knew I needed the upper hand, and alien glass seemed like the perfect bait in this lead-based shipping container.
See, he
It's a
knew.
perfect pre-made Faraday cage.
You built an alien roach motel where powers wouldn't work?
It is good to see friends, old and new. I gotta admit, I was beginning to think that I never would. Then I remembered what you said. No matter how far apart we are, we'll always find our way back to each other.
Well, we couldn't have done it without Maria's help. How'd you reach out to her anyway?
Everything was stuck in the 1940s,
Okay.
except when I got to our house.
Okay, so he
Stuck
went
in
home.
Pleasantville?
Was, but then I remembered reading something in the files at Deep Sky about conscious communication through realities. I mean, it was all theoretical until
Maria made it real.
yeah, I think she was the conduit. I had to get out of here.
That's
Hurricane
Storm.
Theo appear on the radar.
I've been studying this place trying to understand it, but this storm is new. I noticed a steep drop in barometric pressure last night.
Have you seen any, alien fruit since you've been here?
I saw a grove of weird-looking trees about 10 miles east. Why?
Turns out interdimensional travel runs on green energy.
An entire grove?
And lots of it. The fruit's our ticket out.
Okay, then I'll take you.
Well, can you make a map? Dallas and I will go. You two deserve a chance to catch up.
Do you feel like something's wrong? Because I feel like something's wrong. And
With what?
Alex. Like, maybe I'm just... I don't know. Okay.
All of these restless nights, I just sat looking at this blank screen, imagining that this nightmare was just a movie about star-crossed lovers. I'd sit here dreaming about getting home to you, and I could picture you perfectly on the other side doing the same.
Think I gotta ruin another night at the drive-in. I was dreaming of going home. But I forgot where home really is. See, I met this guy.
What?
No.
You met a guy?
Not like that. Clyde, he's an alien. And he showed me Oasis. Not the real place, but there is a way to...
Go back to your planet.
I told myself I was just milking him for information. But the truth is I was tempted. I hate myself for letting that fantasy distract from what we have built together on our planet.
I mean, I can't say I'm surprised, because I know you, Michael. You've been searching for home since we met. Look, Oasis, Roswell, I don't care if we are on other sides of the universe, as long as we are looking at the same stars, I will never look away.
So this movie, how does it end?
Pick your favorite sci-fi trope. We could detonate the asteroid heading towards Earth, shut down the giant lizard destroying the city, or it can end with a twist. Michael Gehring. Will you marry me?
before Max did. I don't even know what to say. I mean, I wanted that to happen. I think he'll say yes. Maybe it was the like Michael's feelings of guilt I was picking up on earlier, but this is also a little bit different than I thought it would be. So I don't know. Do you have anything to add?
And not where we thought it would be, you know.
Like where you would how you would picture their proposal happening.
I mean, in the other dimension.
Yeah.
I figured they'd get back there first.
I guess Alex didn't want to wait anymore. He's been there by himself for a little while.
This isn't where I imagined our engagement photos either, but...
Yeah, same.
I couldn't wait. We've already spent too much time apart.
Agreed.
So?
Just
I can't wait to see Sanders in a tux.
I love you!
Yes. I am so in love with you, it's embarrassing.
This is what I wanted. Oh my
How
god.
far did you say those trees were? Like 10 miles. Yeah, we can work with that.
What?
Wait till the honeymoon? No. It's just,
I knew it! What?
If this is an alternate dimension, the amount of energy that it would take to build it would border on atomic fission. And like nuclear power, it would have unintended consequences. Radiation.
The gas mask.
I felt nauseous as soon as I got here. Did you, Dallas, Bonnie?
Well, they're alien.
Okay, so it's only humans. Which is why Theo didn't realize.
Realize what? What are you saying?
The gas mask helped with the nausea. But it couldn't stop this.
A rash? Okay.
That's
I think I'm dying.
Okay.
That's not human, that's...
Right, which is why I'm hoping we can
Alien.
reverse it. Because that started to appear on Liz when she was...
Well, that appeared on...
We've seen
on
that...
Mr. Jones.
Yeah, well, he died.
Yeah.
But...
That's why I'm saying that... When did it appear on Liz? When she was dying?
Yeah.
Well...
Regular radiation in 2 weeks could absolutely mess with you. I don't know if it would cause that rash thing to appear in 2 weeks. Okay.
Well,
If Liz can cure Maria's brain degeneration, I believe she could cure this.
Well, between
So,
that and Kyle.
yeah. Okay. Well, see, this is raising the stakes. You have to get out of there. I would maybe go to the grove of fruit trees that exists apparently now, and then go home, and then find Liz.
Fast. Put that gas mask back on.
Yeah. Yeah. So. Okay. What, are you gonna pickaxe him? Are you trying, like...
Save you for what I'm about to do. This is the only way to protect your legacy.
Is she creating a bomb? Okay, what does he think he's testing with the flower? Okay.
You'll pay for crossing a vehicle.
You were right not to trust me. The mist was synthesized from bodies by and by reverse engineering its chemical structure. I was able to mimic her abilities and render you powerless.
Okay, cool.
So what do I do then?
Be honest,
I already
man.
told her where I stand.
Yeah, you did.
Why don't you try talking less and listening more?
Good advice.
For you and Kyle.
Everybody knows.
Why did it take him closing the door for me to realize that all I'm gonna do is throw kicking off its hinges?
So what's stopping you?
He made it pretty clear that I had to miss my moment.
Oh, come on.
Epic love stories aren't made up of a single moment. They're built over a lifetime. I refuse to believe it's too late.
I should have told you right away. I just didn't want to ruin this moment. You're trying to save my life. It's already lost.
No, it's not. Please, come on.
Are you gonna say anything? What do you want me to say? 5 minutes ago, I was imagining wedding vows, and now you want me to write a eulogy. No, I just don't want to spend my last days wallowing in the inevitable. I want to marry you.
Well, I prefer if you didn't do it in the alternate dimension.
Dallas, I'm just gonna ask Dallas.
Did you find the fruit?
I want them to get married. I would prefer it if Liz and Kyle fixed him first.
Yes.
Like, honestly, if they have the fruit with them, and then just go drive to the portal, put the fruit on the console, go back home, run to Deep Sky. Like, it doesn't take that long. But did they get married just in the last 2 minutes of the episode? Like, again, it's not the worst thing. It's just, it's such a special moment, and I don't want it to be clouded by this.
I don't think it will. We got 2 minutes.
The trees were burned down.
The trees were burned down by who? Hold on.
Did you find the fruit?
The trees were burned down.
We're stuck here. Dallas can marry us right now. Please, we're running out of time.
It's all
Do it.
your head.
Let's go.
I knew they'd team up.
Who are you? What do you want?
We can begin with that mist.
You've lost your powers.
It appears the
Damn it.
great Liz Oteco wasn't worthy of my savior's faith.
Why would I help you?
Because I can bring your daughter back.
He doesn't even have to mean that. He could be complete. How could an episode with the proposal make me so sad? So how do they get home?
They don't know. They don't know, and we don't know yet.
Why would they even... Why would there be an entire grove of alien fruit trees? And then who would have burned them? Like, how does it exist in the first place? And then how does it now not exist? I still think they can save Alex. At what point do the people in our world think, hey, it's taken them quite a long time to get back? Like, how long are they going to wait to check on them?
Well, they can't.
Like, I mean, there's the team up of Shivani and Clyde, which
you
I
thought
predicted.
that there was going to happen. Right?
So, and I don't think that he can bring Nicole back to life, but obviously that's what he said. And so he then wants Shivani to figure out how to disable the brand that.
Well, he wants the,
But
he wants the mist.
Well, yeah. So let's say, okay, Clyde gets his powers back, and even if Shivani can figure out how to disable the brand, what does, like, if he had the Bible and the star map, does he also have fruit? Because what else is how does he intend to use the portal or whatever to go home. Like, and I don't understand. So it was the pocket dimension
if he has
fake?
there, I mean,
so
check it
if
out,
Clyde
see what's
has like
there.
one fruit that he intends to use for himself to go home, we then have to stop him so that we can use that fruit to get Alex out of the other dimension so that we can heal him? Like, is that why Clyde going home is a bad thing? Because it means that we can't use it. But is it a different portal? I don't understand. I don't think that Alex is gonna die. But I'm angry that, I mean, it raises the stakes. Like, did we have to do that with Alex? Like, would wanting to get out of the dimension just by itself not be enough of a reason to quick and get out of there? Like, did they have to do this? And Alex's illness seems to be progressing quickly.
You know, that's why I was thinking that if there's fruit in that cave that Clyde was in, that they could collect that, plus...
But, like, Max and Isabel would have to go collect it.
Yes.
Michael and Alex cannot.
Correct.
So, what? They're just stuck there doing nothing? So, let's get married before he dies? Because we have to assume, because we cannot... Well, so do they try and communicate again, like Alex has been doing? Hey, something is really wrong. We need your help. Like, because they don't just stay there. They're not just stuck in this pocket dimension and then that's the end. Could what Clyde have done with the tree he set on fire cause that to happen in the pocket dimension? I think what they need to do is try and communicate through Maria again. Like, send out some sort of SOS that they need help. I think if they don't know what the outcome of that is going to be,
or how long it'll take,
I mean, I think then that they should get married, but I mean, even if they did, I don't believe that they're going to be stuck there forever. So, like, because I believe that they're going to get out, even though they don't know that, like, I'm sure that they would make it special somehow.
Well, any marriage is special. So, whether you get married at the courthouse or you get...
in a pocket dimension.
Yeah. There's no wrong place. Just being in the pocket dimension doesn't mean it's wrong.
No. But it's not what they deserve.
No, they can have their party later. Lots of people do.
But there's not time for that.
No, I mean, if once they get back, and then he's fine.
But this would have, like, we have 2 episodes left. Well, I'm glad he's back. And that he's... I don't know. I knew there was something wrong. I want them to have what they deserve. And, like, there's still a chance for that. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Proud of Maria. I mean, I'm proud of Rosa. I think Kyle is going to take Rosa's advice.
I think Isabel's going to take Max's advice.
Yeah. Like, you can't have things work out for everyone else and then... Alex... That would ruin the show for me. And I don't think that they would do that, but like they were raising the stakes with Liz because she was still obviously very much in the thrall of the mist. But like even she was able to still like deceive Clyde and get out of there. And like we obviously have the team up now of Shivani and Clyde, which raised the stakes again. Especially if I don't understand his plan still. There's something that I missed, but like of all the people we had to put in danger.
I think he's probably overstating what he can do.
I don't believe he can save Nicole. I believe that he might believe that. He might be lying, but he might believe it. I don't think he actually can.
I mean, he's definitely not the healer.
Well, so. But if he believes that he can pull... I mean, I don't know if you can still pull energy or powers from someone who is now dead, but that's probably why he believes, if he actually believes he can do it, or if he wasn't just lying, but... I was like, there is something wrong. And then he proposed, and then they had that really great scene, and then it just broke. I don't have anything else to say.